Hey, yeah, whoa, hey, we are back and it's a new year, but two of the same Dynamite Dudes on a Rampage. That's right, this is Dominic D'Angelo, WrestleZone.com, and today's date is January 10th, 2022. It is, oh my god, I'm almost coughing. It is the very first episode of two Dynamite Dudes on a Rampage of the new year. And wow, we got to welcome back myself as well as the Jenner brother Marcus. Marcus,
The
thank
Larry
you for
Zabisco
returning.
Dom. It's been a while.
It's been some time that you would do the Larry salute, everything. Wow, it's so nice
hmm
to be back here in the mix talking AEW. Lots happened
2022.
since we last did a show. Lots happened.
2022, Dom. We wait until people are watching Raw, and we're just like, hey, I know you're busy, but fuck what you're doing. Come pay attention to us.
That's right. Look at us,
hmm
not anything else. All right. You
Yes.
know,
Shut off your TV. Ignore your child.
ignore your child.
Two
Ignore
Dynamite Dudes is on.
two Dynamite Dudes is happening. Nesh is here. Steven Chambers is here.
What's
We
up,
got
guys?
the crew is back. The crew is back.
The whole damn squad.
And you know what? Guess who else is back? Dynamite on TNT or wrestling on TBS. I guess I screwed that up.
Yep.
And it started. I mean, the first week of Dynamite on TBS. How'd you think of the whole pomp and circumstance of it all? And we'll start off with this: just Bryan Danielson versus Hangman Adam Page Part 2.
Boy, oh boy, what a barn burner of a match that was. But honestly, couldn't really expect any different. After match one, you're like, okay, these guys are gonna tear the damn house down, and they did. And Dominic, what do you think of your boy, my boy DB, in this case BD, taking the L?
I'm okay with it. It had to happen. It had to happen to further the story, to further Hangman's story, and I think ultimately too to further Danielson's story, where you can't just hang your hat on him being undefeated the whole time. And depending on what where you're going with him, whether it's heel, babyface, or whatever, it needs to. Yeah, like Marcus, we talked about it too. Like, Kurt Angle had to lose at some point, and it seemed fitting for him to lose to Taz. You're trying to build a top star in Hangman Page. But why not put him over a top star in wrestling? It just made sense.
Initially, whenever this angle was coming about, I remember you and I talking about it, and I said something to the effect of, they would have to turn one of them heel to get this feud off the ground. But now that they've actually done it, they actually took my advice. Dominic, Tony Khan, regular listener, took my advice here, and they did it. They turned one of them heel. Now that they've done it, I'm like, they shouldn't have done that. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. To me, it's too fast. Happened too fast. Great match. There's no denying it. Incredible match. But the more I think about it, Dominic, I really would have liked to have seen a longer build to this and have it be a babyface versus babyface match at the end, where because Bryan Danielson is over with the crowd. You're not going to make them hate him. He's too good at the wrestling. He's too good on the mic. He's just, and everybody wanted him to be there. He's the shiny new toy, and he's there. So you're not going to make him a good enough heel. So what would have been, to me, more fun, or the right way to do it, is have Hangman get some big wins over some of the top heels in the company. Have him beat MJF. Have him beat Miro, as much as I hate to say that. Have him, really, really build him. And then after a few months, you say, like, okay, Daniel Bryan is, he's undeniable. He's undefeated. We've got to have a match between these two. And then you've got the babyface versus babyface match. Who you cheering for? Hangman Page gets the win. Establishes himself.
I mean, I'm sort of with you. I think you know me, like Danielson's my guy, so it's like I would love him to stay babyface because I think I always like cheering for him. I think though, Danielson, I think also said in an interview, he's just being himself. Like, so if he gets booed, he gets booed. And if he does this, and if that's the mentality, and sure, like there's a little bit of like, okay, he's definitely being a heel, but I mean, like,
he's not being himself.
He's not being himself. But I think the fact does kind of stand like Marcus, he is getting booed like heavily. So I think that point is he's getting across as a heel. Like, so
that crowd went fucking insane when his music hit and he walked out. They all started doing the yes thing.
But Marcus, that's also just kind of a thing too, where okay, you have something that people want to cheer is yes, 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 but it's also like yeah, Danielson is a star, and people are going to cheer for him. I cheer for him. That's just that we'll go with it. But he is garnering some heel heat for Hangman. But to your point, let me say this: is I think you could keep Danielson heel, I mean babyface, and it would not hurt Hangman. I wonder if that was a concern of theirs because I think Hangman has enough star cachet right now and is like this growing star where like people aren't going to boo Hangman, against Danielson. I think to your point, if they're going to they'll cheer both guys, and it's like
and yeah, what I was gonna say too was, yes, Danielson got a big babyface reaction when he came out, but like Hangman Page got an even larger babyface reaction when he came out. So
yeah,
it's I really think that it could have worked. I was wrong when I said that one of them needed to be heel to move the feud forward, and I really wish we had built this thing and had it lead up to a babyface versus babyface match, ideally at a pay-per-view.
yeah. I mean, it would be nice. I think they could have pulled this off just fine, though, the way you would intend it to, that you would have preferred it to, just doing it the way they did it too.
I think it was good, but I think it could have been a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could have easily plugged MJF into that role of, what they're doing, where he's just eliminating each and every Dark Order member and things like that. And
that being said, though, Dominic, the MJF CM Punk stuff is pretty entertaining. What a segue! Let's hammer on.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. CM Punk cost MJF a match via DQ, which we never see in pro wrestling in AEW, or disqualification finishes. But MJF took the L that way, and furthers up their storyline. MJF really leaning into the idea of like he's being the heel, like referencing WWE and saying like he would jump to that company, and Punk's like, "Hey, go ahead." He's like, "You come back and I'll beat your ass then."
Yeah,
stuff
you
like
think
that.
the grass is greener?
The grass is greener. Its grass ain't so green. So yeah, Mark, what do you think of that segment?
I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, MJF just keeps on establishing himself as one of the top promos in the business. You could kind of see where Punk didn't really have a comeback, and he's always got some witticism. But MJF just sort of shut him down with that whole like he couldn't main event WrestleMania deal. So I mean, Punk wound up coming back eventually, but like ordinarily he's just like lightning fast. He's got to come back. But this time it was like, nope, he sort of got him there. It was good. It was good. There's not a lot of people that can go blow for blow with CM Punk, and MJF may have outdone him. Dom Nesh is asking where we've been hiding. I've been hiding behind my computer, working all the time.
Nesha, let me tell you straight out, Marcus has been being a real bitch lately. Real bitch.
I've been working, and Dominic does what he always does whenever he gets a girlfriend, which is ignore everyone, including all of you followers.
That is wow, unbelievable, very insulting, Marcus. I am a man of many passions, and my biggest passion is pro wrestling. So how dare you? How dare you say such a thing? Now listen. No, I think Punk and MJF, like it's a feud that's easy to chew on, and like they can give it in any iteration they want, week in and week out, and I'll be entertained by it. I think so it's for them to, and this was creative, like I just said, never do DQ finishes in AEW. So when you do one, it gotta mean something, and this was significant, having MJF lose in that manner. So, and he's got an axe to grind now because he's 0-1 in 2022, and Sean Dean's undefeated. So
how about that?
Yeah, how about that? So, yeah, Mark, it's I'm still all for that. I think it's a great feud, and like they can let this thing simmer as long as they want to, and I'll be okay with it. How about you? Do you think it can? How long can you prolong this feud? Do you think?
You know my answer, Dom. My answer is always you should have a feud for like 6 months, 8 months, somewhere in there. Yeah, I like the old school, like build it. Take it to house shows, even though it's not a thing anymore. But that should make it easier then, in theory, right? Because you're getting in the ring less in front of crowds.
And you can I mean, these are two old school thought processing guys. So like MJF was like very, into the old school kind of way, and CM Punk has always been like that.
I mean, the way they used to do it was like, you'd have the heel dodge for as long as he could, and then they'd say like, okay, well, let's do a tag match, and the heel's on one side, but the heel keeps tagging out every time the baby face comes in, so like just keeps giving that crowd. Then we get a little taste of it at the end, and you just keep doing that kind of shit for a month, 3 months. Until finally it's like, okay, inevitable, they got to meet in the ring, and then you've got rubber matches, and you've got like, no, you didn't beat me fair and square. So like there's ways to make this last for an extended period.
Well, I mean, and to your point, Mark, they are having MJF run away, like evade Punk, like he doesn't want to interact with him, and it's a great way to keep it going. Next week we're getting CM Punk versus Wardlow. Marcus, could this indicate a babyface turn next week for Wardlow? Or are they going to slow burn that a little bit more?
I hope not. Motherfucker's too big. He's one of those guys who should be a heel.
Marcus, but come on. I mean, they're doing it. Like, it's evident they're teasing a babyface turn for him.
Don't like it. Don't want
All right, but you've seen it coming, haven't you? Like,
well, of course, I know they're doing it, and he's over, and it's great and stuff. But like, Dom, I think it's Bruce Pritchard. Somebody always talks about what happened when they turned Kevin Nash. It is Bruce Pritchard when they turned Big Daddy Cool Diesel into a babyface and put the title on him. They were like, everything that everybody loved about Diesel, like the badass, scary Diesel guy you don't want to mess with, Diesel, just evaporated because they turned him into like this baby face. And I think that we need more badass dudes in AEW.
What happened?
More, not less.
What happened when they turned Batista babyface, Marcus?
Hey, Batista, no, that's not a good.
How is it not? How is it not?
If you look at the roster of AEW, I'm talking about just from a size perspective.
It's the perfect comparison.
A size perspective deal, though, Dominic.
Size perspective, Marcus. Batista was a big man.
But he was a big man surrounded by big men. I'm talking about right now wrestling.
Wardlow's
one of the biggest dudes. Wardlow's one of the biggest dudes on the roster, and I think that when you've got a guy that out matches pretty much everybody on the roster like that, that's how you get baby faces over. Is you put them in impossible situations.
Your take with Kevin Nash and Diesel, okay, is they shoehorned it. They shoehorned him becoming the world champion pretty quickly, and they didn't let him kind of just beat Kevin Nash.
They did also dress him up like Santa Claus, I think, the day after, and had him singing.
So there you go. So Batista, when they turned Batista babyface, he was organic. Like, that was Batista, like that cool, kind of calm, collected attitude that's like kind of new and badass and fresh. So, like, Marcus, I think it's very off base in this regard, because to your point, there's like, how many big men heels are there? There's a lot of big men heels. Like
I think
in AEW and in AEW for the most part too. It's good. I think you need a guy like Wardlow to be a big baby face to kind of get that vibe of like, hey, there's a lot of different kind of sizes and shapes of people and everything like that you're going to get in the mix of this world title picture, or anything to that effect. So I think that Wardlow's closer to Diesel than he is to Batista. Hard pat, no, definitely not. Definitely
I do.
Not. I don't see how. I guess I can see to the point of like like what this show's named after. What are they called? What did we change the name? What was the actual name of their group? Two Dudes with Attitude.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so it's like Two Dudes with Attitude. I can see kind of that comparison. But no, I'm seeing more, in regards to the story progressing, Triple H and Batista. So,
totally disagree.
Let's get your thoughts, guys. What do you guys think, huh?
Is Wardlow more Diesel or more Batista? Stephen Chambers says Brian Cage. What a curveball.
I'm curious. Where
the fuck is Brian Cage?
I know. Like, what's the situation? I know he's still under contract. I know he's wrestling indie shows. Hopefully they're just kind of tabling him, and they're going to bring him back kind of in a hot manner, because I love Brian Cage.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. Okay, Marcus, geez, we got to talk about maybe the leading story. It should have been Jade Cargill,
How about that?
TBS Women's Champion.
How about that?
Against Ruby Soho. Great match, I thought, for what it was. Like, and I think, Eric Beeston of Bleacher Report did the recap of Dynamite that day, and he said it's going to be a learn on the job process for Jade Cargill. And I agree with it, and I think it's a good thing to do. Like, but
Well, yeah, I she's not as polished, but she's got all the intangibles, which again is why she's. So Tony Khan recently came out and made a comment about how Jade Cargill is. There's not been a dominant run in wrestling like this since Goldberg.
yes,
To me, it's not the right comparison. And
okay.
you know who I keep comparing to. It's Lex Luger, and I'm reviewing some stuff from 1987 right now when Luger just appeared with WCW or NWA, JCP, whatever the fuck it is over there. Lex Luger appeared on WCW TV for the first time, and great body, awesome look. He was still green, but they pushed him, and all of a sudden he's with the Four Horsemen, and he's one of the top guys in the company. He's beating up Barry Windham. So it's a pretty to me, she's more Lex Luger. Now, I'm not saying that she is as green as Luger was back then. She's not. She's a really good athlete, and she's a good performer, and I see a really bright future with her. But to that writer's point, whoever's name you just said there,
Eric Beeston.
That's what I was just gonna say, Eric Beeson.
Yeah.
To his point, she is learning on the job now, which is exactly what Luger did. So no, she's not Goldberg. She's a little bit closer to Lex Luger.
And I would say argument for Jade here is she's better on the mic than both of them, and we love Goldberg. But
Dominic, Nate Johnson misses WCW rewritten, like so many do.
I miss WCW rewritten.
It was a good podcast.
Yes, it is a good podcast, Marcus. Please. Just get the right.
Oh no, it's dead and buried, Dominic.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Nesha has also missed us, Dom. Sorry, Dom has a girlfriend now. He's just going to be paying way less attention to you guys.
That's why, Marcus. This is my work here. Okay, I do not disregard my work.
Neither do I, which is why I've been gone.
This stream here, this StreamYard, this fucking frame, this is all my canvas and my face here, my thoughts. My heart is the brush. So.
What's the art then? What are you putting on the canvas?
Here,
the words.
Many will argue I cannot polish a turd over here, but
in your personal life,
chicken salad.
Oh, you were pointing to me. I thought you were saying like in your home. Here. I thought you were talking about like your house.
No,
I'm trying to polish a turd.
How dare you?
So why is Nesha heartbroken? What's wrong? Oh, because Dom has a girlfriend. Yeah, sorry. Well, Dom, is this a monogamous relationship or what's going on over there with you? All right, let's hammer on.
Holy cats.
We move along.
But I'm excited for Jade, though. Let me just say that. I think it is a good start to have her be the TBS champion. I don't like seeing Ruby Soho lose. But I think she does have a bit of Teflon to her where like people like her, and so she can take a loss and definitely bounce back from it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so. And she's a big star, and super over with the crowd. And I don't know. I feel like I like Jade as a heel. I think it makes sense. But really, with someone with that much box office in them, I think that almost needs to be babyface, right?
Jade?
Yeah.
Mark, come on. This is just your point. You're just contradicting yourself.
I'm saying that she's got so much box office in her. She's got the look, she's got the body, she's got like the attitude. I'm almost ready to see her take a babyface run.
No, Marcus, no. Oh man.
I am.
Unbelievable. You're all over the grid here, Marcus. All over the grid.
Well, that is pretty far away from what I was talking about with Wardlow and the Diesel comparison.
You're saying you need if we're looking for an equivalent of a big man in the women's division, Jade's one of those, like a monster, that will dominate people. So I mean, I think it is a comparison that's
you've already got the intimidating women there.
You got Nyla Rose, and then you have then Jade, right?
No, there's more, right?
I think those are two heavy hitters.
I don't know. We move along.
Okay.
We digress.
We digress. What else was there that we have cooking here?
Oh,
on
Nate
Dynamite?
Johnson. Nate Johnson agreeing with me. Thanks, Nate. Should
Marcus.
be the Cena Dominic. She should come out to her own music that she sang, fling a
Wait,
hat into the crowd.
wait, who is this?
The Jade.
Sing her own song?
Yeah, like Cena did.
Oh, like see? Oh, I thought you meant she literally sang her own song.
No, I'm saying that's what he should be.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that. Let's not go that far. I do got to talk, Marcus. Did you happen to catch any of Battle of the Belts at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, your boy Arn, Marcus.
I saw that
Did you see
Arn
that part?
flipped the old bird to Sammy
That was great.
Guevara.
That was great. Sammy points the Glock at him, and then just.
I thought it was great.
And then
Arn
he scared.
Still got it.
Yeah, and then he scared off Fuego del Sol too. But I think, man, that match with Dustin Rhodes and Sammy, fucking awesome. Awesome shit. Great story told. Dustin is such a vet, such a savvy vet. And maybe they collaborated on this idea, but what was a neat aspect of it for the interim TNT title, because Cody has a medical issue, which maybe COVID, probably thinking, but
not important. He's not feeling well.
Yep. But either way, interim title on the line, and Sammy gets knocked to the outside. Dustin bangs his head off of the steel steps. Okay. Dustin gets back in the ring, and the ref starts counting. But hey, there's got to be a winner. So he's trying to get the count out win. And if he even wins with the count out, he's probably the interim champion. So it's like a savvy veteran move to be like, all right, I'm trying to take the count out win here. And then Sammy tries doing it later on, and Arn's like stalling for Dustin. He's on the outside, kind of trying to,
distract the ref
and not starting to count and all that kind of thing. So pretty creative stuff. Awesome match between the two. Certainly teases at the end. Sammy gets the win by a roll up. They were trading pins back and forth, and Sammy ultimately got the victory there. They embrace at the end, sign on respect, everything like that. So be intriguing to see once they get Cody back, how they'll position Cody, because we didn't even talk about this. I can't remember, Marcus, did you see the video that Cody did where he was talking about?
Yes, I saw it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, where he was saying something like he's earned it or whatever. He's proud of himself or something.
Yeah. Total heel. Anybody that doesn't think Cody knows that he is being a heel. I mean, this settles it here. Cody, he's smart. He knows what the fuck he's doing. I think you can even argue that this is a long play that Cody's been playing this since the very beginning, when he was like, I'm not going to challenge for the AEW World Title anymore. I think it's just I think this has all been a part of the plan, and the time of execution is now. So I'm excited to see Cody back. I like Cody again with the TNT Championship back.
Let me say, Dominic, I think that Cody Rhodes being the person to beat Hangman Page, you want to talk about getting heat.
I think you're right.
Ooh, that would be something.
You're spot on there.
That would be something. So Dom, are we in a 1994 Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels situation here with this TNT belt?
Oh my, Marcus, that's intriguing.
Because Cody didn't lose, but his belt is gone. Right. Is that what we're to understand? Or they keep calling it the interim title? Yeah. So what does that mean?
So what that means is when Cody comes back, they're going to have a match to merge those two titles together.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's classic Razor Ramon Shawn Michaels. It needs to be a ladder match.
I'm not against that.
Hang him high, Dom.
Hang him high. Fucking hey, you know what? If you can, rope in Scott, being the enforcer, the person on the
dude. Scott Hall needs to appear for AEW.
How awesome would that be? Marcus, you know me, I'd fucking mark out hardcore.
Not just because I'm a fan of him, but also because he was in AWA, he was in ECW, he was in WCW, he was in TNA, he was in WWE. Nobody else. Name another person.
DDP?
Nope. DDP never appeared for ECW.
Oh. Crowbar? Wasn't Crowbar? I think Crowbar's been home.
Was he?
I think Crowbar.
No, he wasn't in AWA.
Oh, you're right.
He was in Smoky Mountain.
You're right. Ooh. Marcus, that's a good point.
Scott Hall is the one at this point. He's the only one left who could be, I think.
Maybe. I don't know. Right?
I think he is.
That's hard to think.
So Scott Hall needs to appear for AEW just for the sake of history.
I would love it. I would love it. Tony Khan did say, Marcus, that they made a favorite of his signing. I don't know. I made the prediction that it's Bret Hart. Now, the only thing that maybe throws that off, I don't know how.
Didn't he say something about international?
I don't think international. Wasn't it just like a favorite signing, an all-time favorite signing or something coming?
Or no, he said something like North America.
Yes, that's what it was. North America. So, I mean, that's Canada. So, I mean.
See, I thought the context was something like this person is coming to North America.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I will look like a fucking moron if I kept retweeting a Bret Hart gif where he's like holding the title and like looking.
Yeah, Canada is part of North America, Dominic. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
You're saying though, like if they mean the other thing in there.
I'm just being an asshole. I don't know what's going on. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard Switchblade or Jay, what's his fuck there?
Jay White. Well, yeah. He's New Zealand. So
yeah, that's not North America, Dominic.
Okay. Well, no, we're on different pages here because I'm thinking he meant North America, and so that's why I was tweeting Canada people.
Can somebody interpret what the hell we're talking about, Steven?
Yeah, does anybody know what the legit thing is? Boy, I'm the fucking writer. I should know this, but I don't. Battle of the Belts also, Marcus. We had Rio versus Dr. Britt Baker. Britt Baker retains after a great match.
I saw the spot with Rebel holding the table, and Rio runs up it and just kicks her in the face. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That was good stuff. Mm-hmm. It was a fun match. I think there was a lot of chicanery going on, so a little bit of that. But ultimately, like how those two women wrestled and everything like that, and the execution of the finish and stuff, I thought was really well done. And Britt basically overall gets a pretty clean win. So, she slays the dragon that has been Rio for her. And then we had Ricky Starks also defending his title against your boy, Matt Sydal. And that was a rock solid match too. I love seeing Ricky Starks. He's got one of the best teams in wrestling, I think. And so pretty good showcase of that. Marcus, I have yet. So I didn't get to catch Rampage this week. And because it wasn't on my DVR for some reason. And I have yet to see Hook wrestle.
Oh my god!
I haven't seen him yet.
Dom, it's been all over the internet.
He's the man, and I can't. Mm-hmm. I have not seen him wrestle yet. So Hook is on my list. I gotta send Hook to me.
Send Hook to Dom. He needs to see it. Or you could just go on YouTube, Dominic. You lazy piece of shit.
Well, no, just to have the highlights. I want to see the whole thing, the presentation, the execution of it all. I want to see the whole kit caboodle.
The whole dang thing.
The whole dang thing. Hook was in a strip club. I did not see that clip. Did you see the clip of Hook in a strip club, Mark?
Don't know anything about it.
That's old school wrestling. Old school wrestling.
I'll tell you what, that's part of making your bones in the business, is it not?
I think so. That's like all about it, Randy the Ram did that shit. That's how he met Marissa Tomei.
Probably not a thing anymore in the business.
No, well, that's what I mean. He's old. He's the last of the Mohicans there.
Last of the old school.
Also, I'm trying to think of Dynamite. Jake Atlas. How well do you know about Jake Atlas, Marcus?
Jake Atlas. Not much.
Okay, I like Jake Atlas. Very athletic. Very, very well touted. Then he got signed by WWE. Then NXT just
buried him.
Good. No sign of him. And jobbed out. He got discouraged. He left wrestling. He's back. Tony Khan signs him. He wrestled Adam Cole. He apparently got injured during the match, and they had to call a quick match here. But apparently, he's not out for a long time, so that's a good thing. But I am excited to see him. Not only it adds to the diversity, and we'll get into that topic just real quick. But it adds to the diversity of what they're presenting on AEW because he's from Asian descent. He's also a homosexual, so it's like you're getting a little bit of mix in there. And an extremely talented wrestler. So it's like, I think it's going to be a really exciting signing, and I'm excited to see what they do with him because WWE underutilized him terribly. Like he wrestled in like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and all that stuff. He was just one of the hottest acts going. And then it's just like they fizzled him out in NXT. It was very unfortunate. So
What a shame.
It is a shame. It is a
Speaking
shame.
of shames, Dominic, was Ray Phoenix hurt?
Yes. So thankfully, that was bad. Did you see that injury? Did you happen to
Nope.
see it?
Missed it.
It was nasty to see. I didn't see it the first thing, but I was like, so he gets put through a table. Luchasaurus chokeslams him. Jeez, we didn't even talk about the tag match. But Luchasaurus chokeslams him. His arm, like you can see it kind of flopping. And it looks bad. It's like, oh man, he's fucked for a while. But thankfully, it was just a real bad dislocation. So he's going to be out for a while, but it's not as bad as we thought it was.
Well, that's great.
That's great. Like Phoenix, oh my gosh, what a showcase of his talents in that match too. By the way, the tag team title match, just really damn good. Penta's awesome. What do you think about Jurassic Express as the new tag team champions?
I think that it's a build for Jungle Boy, really, where they're like, hey, Jungle Boy still hasn't had a belt with our company. It's crazy. So I think that they're hooking them up, but I think it makes sense, especially if, I think Tony Khan has said before, the demographic, the younger demographic really likes Jungle Express. So yeah, or Jurassic Express for crying out loud. It sort of makes sense in that regard. I don't know about. I know he's like selling toys and stuff, but I really want Luchasaurus to be a heel.
I'm with you, but I guess I do see the point. Like, I mean, it's no denying that when Luchasaurus gets in there, he gets a pretty good pop, and that's from like an AEW like kind of ardent fan, early 20s crowd. So like if that crowd is popping for him, you can only imagine what kids are thinking about that are watching the show.
I'm sure as a kid I would have liked him. Dinosaur combo with a wrestler, big guy, green tongue. I've been like, who is this guy? I love him.
Mm-hmm.
So
he gave up the talking, and now he's just hissing people.
That's right. Is that a creative choice where like he's not a great promo? What if we just tell him to stick out your tongue and hiss at people?
Hiss at people. Yeah, I mean, I think the point is like if you find somebody that's like comparable in regards to like being an attractive to kids, like some sort of style or gimmick or whatever. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a gimmick. I think you could turn him heel pretty easy and then just like make him feud with that person, something like that. I don't know.
There's just some meat on that bone, Dom.
I agree. That dinosaur bone. Listen.
So I think this podcast has really gone downhill. Go ahead.
I fucking lost my train of thought. Okay. So yes, I do want to touch upon this. I'll give my opinion briefly on it. Marcus, you can give your opinion if you'd like. So what happened? There was a little controversy that always happens on Twitter when it comes to like Big Swole. Kind of, she's gone from the company. This happened about a week and a half ago or something like that, I would say, and said that there was like not only like structural issues there, but lack of representation when it comes to certain aspects of diversity as well. Tony Khan went on Twitter and kind of said flat out, like, there a lot of people are well represented. Ran down a list of people and then said, we let Swole go because of her wrestling work, and so got a lot of blowback on social media. A lot of stuff got said. I do and very much want to do a show, Hot Tag, where we talk about the diversity as a major topic on there, because there was the WWE did something that was very questionable. But now to this point, I've been like talking to friends and just is my thought process on it. AEW is only 2 years old. Is that going on 3 at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, going on 3 at this point. They have a whole diverse group of people in AEW. Now, when you start that company, when the company started, you had hot new acts that you want to build: Young Bucks, Adam Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes. You want to establish again. Chris Jericho's in the mix. MJF, all stars. Not a super amount of notable like talents of color at this point. But you do have Sonny Kiss, and you do have Nyla Rose. Those were some early ones that came on, and so going there, you kind of think, okay, you're gonna want to establish a product that has big stars, and you want to do it organically. And so you look at stars like when it comes to WWE, like The Rock, took him a couple of years to get to where he was, and it didn't happen just like by shoehorning him. They tried shoehorning it, didn't work, So I think people are very quick to jump on that, and I think there is certainly some stuff that was executed in regards to how the whole thing is structured, like how AEW was structured earlier on, where it's just like, okay, this seems erratic. And we had questions about that with Hangman and his story going on and how that all progressed. But I think ultimately you want this shit to happen organically, and you want this, because if you shoehorn or you put somebody in that position, it's not only are the fans going to see through it, but it doesn't benefit the wrestler themselves, whether male or female, black or white, or any kind of thing. So I feel that you look at somebody like Powerhouse Hobbs. I think immediately, if you put Powerhouse Hobbs in the main event picture, he would get over. He would work.
He would.
I do think that, because he's shown that he's capable of doing that, I think. And they put him in a position with Punk. Ricky Starks is another one you can just put right there, and boom, he's immediate. But you know what? You make it happen organically. You give it time. You let these characters and these stories grow. There is nothing wrong with that. So I guess that's kind of my thought process on it. I think things can always get executed a little bit better in wrestling, like, and delivered and certain things like that. But, it's not a perfect system. And I think, though, they are very much on the right track. And, I think that's kind of been made evident in a lot of ways. But Marcus, feel free to give your thoughts if you want. And
I think that regardless of what company you're working for, whether it's wrestling or whether it's name a company, if you're working downtown in the city, if you're working in a cubicle farm, I think that every company needs to be well represented, and then the people who succeed in that company need to succeed based on their merit. And so, like in the case of AEW, I think that they need to represent everybody equally, fairly, give people every single opportunity to achieve. Now, whether or not people achieve is up to them following that. So like it's all completely based on your performance, how you're able to get over, how much you attempt to improve yourself. That's to me, that's really the meat and potatoes of it, Dominic. Stack your roster well represented, make your roster well represented, and then all right, get out there and everybody do your best, and make sure that you put people in a position where they can succeed. And so to me, that's the down to brass tacks of the situation. I see Swole's point. I do. I think that AEW could stand to have a little more representation at this point. Especially due to the fact that they have limited television time, very limited television time, and they've got a really, really large roster. So to me, it's important to figure that in and just say okay, so we've got these members of the roster, and that's great. Am I putting them in a position where they're able to achieve? Yeah. So that's what's really important.
I agree with that. I think, yeah, and that said, a lot of the things, we talk about it all the time, how loaded the roster is and how hard it is to get give that talent certain time on air. You look at everybody across the board and people that you want to be invested in, I know he's hurt, but somebody that even a Lance Archer, he'd be gone for weeks on end and then you'd see him, or now Brian Cage is another one. But yeah, Marcus, I mean, there's a lot of great talent that I'm excited to see coming up here, somebody like a Lee Moriarty and stuff like that, who's kind of getting in the mix now with who they just feud with on Rampage. He came out, Team Taz. So stuff like that. And
I think that Big Shotty Lee is awesome. And it's I'll get invested in him, and then I don't see him for 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I'm where did he go?
Yeah, No, I agree. It's like that's an issue, yeah, across the board with a lot of wrestlers. It's just, you want to see everybody represented, like from like a star power standpoint, where you want to see that a certain talent, and like they ran into this issue, and they still kind of have a little bit of an issue with the women's division when it comes to this stuff. Usually, but even now they've been getting a little better at that too, because you see like not just one match now, you see maybe a couple women's matches going on, and like they get highlighted. Heck, we didn't even talk about that fucking the street fight that happened like a week and a half ago with who was it? Jeez. Ty Conte and Anna Jay. Holy smokes, that was nuts.
Something else.
Something else. But yeah, I think it's in the right direction. I just think give it some time, let things develop. I know people really want to see stuff happen. There's a lot of stars I want to see pushed to the moon too, and they'll get their opportunity. And they just, like you said, they just got to make the most of it when it does happen.
Absolutely.
And then AEW's
it's AEW's responsibility to position people to succeed.
Agreed.
All right, Dom, we gotta wrap this sumbitch up.
Yep. Real quick, we didn't get to talk about these two talents, and they were pretty notable debuts that happened. Kyle O'Reilly, fucking undisputed eras in AEW. Pretty damn awesome.
It's wild.
Super wild. And Red Dragon, they're calling him Red Dragon, back to the ROH days.
I think it's cool, but here's the issue with that. Having the undisputed era together, like, it is cool, and it's kind of like it kind of hits the old fantasy, like, like, oh man, I wish we could see these people fight, and then it's actually happening now because of AEW. However, here's the only downside, is that Tony Khan is essentially revealing to everybody, I was very invested in NXT. He's low-key telling everybody, like, I knew exactly what was going on with NXT, and I was super invested in it.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't know if it's a great thing.
I don't think it's... Marcus, I think... And you don't have to say... I think that what it could be is, like, he just knows that Undisputed Era was a big thing in NXT. And why not take advantage of that?
And I guess organically, like, if those guys were kayfabe friends on TV, I'm sure they're friends from real life as well. If they were friends on TV elsewhere, they would probably be friends on TV wherever else they go, I guess, from a kayfabe standpoint, so that works. But I don't know. I think that, again, we've added Kyle O'Reilly, and we've got Bobby Fish, we've got all these names, and how do you figure out how to get everybody on TV?
I know. We haven't seen Geo Lethal.
Steven Chambers said before, where the fuck has Christian Cage been?
He's been with Jurassic Express. Like, he's been with them.
When's the last time you saw him have a match on Dynamite?
Yeah, on a match. I haven't seen him have a match in a while, but he's been out there. Like, I've seen him.
Matt Hardy's group, they're just gone.
They're there. What did I just see them? They were in a big tag match not too long ago against. No, that wasn't Undisputed. It was a viable group.
Where's Sunny Kiss?
I know. Well, she's been feuding with Joey Janela, and fuck, man. I want Sunny Kiss is a star. Like, that's somebody you really do got to hone your focus in on, and like make sure he gets the airtime. I just think he could just be a real badass, like, in his own way. So yeah, I want to see Sunny Kiss a little bit more for sure.
Strange times, dude.
Very strange time. We're seeing plenty. Well, thankfully we're not seeing you. But we're seeing plenty from adfreeshows.com, are we not?
We are, Dominic, adfreeshows.com, and leveling up constantly leveling up, Dom. Yeah, it's, just right off the top of my head, Something to Wrestle. We just did an episode about Chris Masters, and now Dominic, Chris Masters himself, is joining adfreeshows.com to do an exclusive sit down to discuss the episode. I don't think, to my knowledge, it hasn't been done yet on AEW. On Ad Free Shows, AFS, and now you get to hear it straight from the horse's mouth about what he thought of the episode. He gets to do a little point counterpoint. It's a really cool idea. So that's incoming. I mean, constantly special guests. Our members just got to sit down and talk to the legendary Gerald Briscoe. and have a Q&A and pick his brain. And Dom, it's the best is yet to come, man. There's huge news coming through. That podcast network is blowing up, and old Marcus is right in the mix.
You are right in the thick of the action, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're spinning a lot of plates. You're bitching constantly.
I do not bitch, Dominic. I've never been happier in my whole life.
I know.
Love the job.
But I mean, for here.
No, I just like giving you a hard time. But no, truly, I love the job. And ad-free shows, they call it the ad-free shows family for a reason. It's a community over there, and it's really, really cool. It's a lot of fun.
No, Mark, you talked to you about how much fun you have doing it. I'm like envious sometimes too. I'm like, holy shit, you're doing a lot of good shit. And like, it's fun. Like, you got to check out the accounts of all that stuff and check out all the content that they're churning out, because it's really fun stuff. Marcus, geez, I got to dabble a little bit in that just today. I had an interview with one of your bosses, if you will.
It's a JEFF.
Yes, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, baby. I interviewed him today on WrestleZone. That'll come later this week. We talk a lot in regards to his new pick-a-fight campaign that he's got with Fight TV. Talk about his little interaction here with GCW and his thoughts on that, as well as somebody who's been very newsworthy, Mickie James, Impact Knockouts champion, going to be in the Royal Rumble. I talked to him about that and certain aspects of that, and we touch upon a few other things as well. Jeff's a good dude, Marcus. I don't know how he can stand to work with you. We do. Honestly, he gives me a job review for you. So I hope you're fearful.
Oh, good. Jeff, you can't do much better, man. 3rd generation promoter, wrestler, world's greatest singer, world's greatest entertainer, and world's greatest wrestler. Jeff is one of a kind, and his podcast is one of the most popular wrestling podcasts out there ever. So make sure you check out my world. Check out everything over there on adfreeshows.com. Sign up, only 30 cents a day to be a base level member. So you're missing out if you're not part of the community over there.
Yeah, get to it, man. Get to it. How do they follow you on Twitter?
Oh yeah, you can follow me right there. It's Marcus P. D'Angelo on Twitter. Follow Ad Free Shows at Ad Free Shows on Twitter. And Dominic, how do they follow you if they're so inclined? Well, they can follow WrestleZone first.
Yes.
Where?
If you can follow WrestleZone at WrestleZone.com. You can follow me at Dominic D'Angelo, and you can go to WrestleZone.com for all your wrestling news needs. Now, as far as stuff going on, I just did MLW Fusion Fight Report that returned in 2022. Talk about MLW's Azteca, fucking awesome. It's so fun. They're wrestling in Tijuana right now, and I'm telling you guys, if you have not watched Cesar Duran work his magic, you have to watch him work his magic. Marcus, it's like I made the comparison of Richard Dawson in The Running Man. Really good shit.
That's a good comparison.
Yes. So be sure to check out the Fusion Fight Report and check out MLW Fusion. I write for them as well. But yeah, as far as stuff going on, we got a lot of good stuff cooking. Our editor, Bill Pritchard, recently interviewed another one of our boys, Diamond Dallas Page.
DDP.
Talking about that new podcast going on there.
He's with Podcast Heat. DDP's. I don't know if you guys have heard that podcast, but it's something else, man. Episode 2 is coming out. Gosh, is it tomorrow?
Is it tomorrow?
It is. Yeah.
Already? Wow.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. So
how about that?
So yeah, it's DDP and Jake. It's like sitting down with them and just listening to stories. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the stories those guys have got, just years and years and years of experience. Years of experience,
years of friendship. So like DDP said too, he said this in the interview. It's like being on a fly on the wall for like stuff like this. It's like different from like stuff that you've heard with DDP and Jake before. This is like something a little different, and especially now that you have Conrad in the mix, like BSing with them and stuff like that. So a lot of cool shit happening.
Not something you want to miss.
Not something you want to miss. Hey, you know what though? We miss you guys, and we're back.
Absolutely.
We're happy to be back. Nesha, Steven, everybody. Like, even if you don't chime in, it's we very much appreciate it. And listen, we have the teddies. The votes are in. Marcus and I need to make the final determination next week we'll be doing the tennies. So
We'll be
forward
back.
to that. Yes, and look forward to what we're cooking here on WrestleZone and on adfreeshows.com as well. So
We're both busy. I've got the ad free shows work. Dominic has got a girlfriend and he ignores everybody. So but we always have time for you guys.
That's right.
So we'll be back next week.
Next week, hey, 2022. Let's keep it cooking, guys. Let's keep it cooking. Yes. All right. Hey, we'll see you next week. Okay, on 2 Dynamite Dudes. Margaret, say the rest.
With attitude on a rampage.
You messed it up, dumbass.
2 Dynamite Dudes on a rampage.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.